To answer the question, should you install a Stage 2 in your Honda Grom? The answer is... Welcome back to 21 Moto. We're about to go do the test right now for the fastest part of my commute. It's like 65 miles per hour zone. And we're trying to get that close to that, as close to that speed as possible so we can be a little bit safer. This turn is hairy. Maybe not too bad today. There's not that much traffic right now. It's perfect. Oh, it's perfect. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It feels great. Anyway, the Grom feels like super peppy. Feels like it's got a demon inside now. Pretty sick. This Civic is jacking up my filter here. Run it, boy, let's go. So I was concerned because the bike doesn't have we're at 260 miles and the break-in period is supposed to be 600 miles, and like, I don't know, I couldn't wait to install all this stuff, guys, so I just kind of installed it all. I haven't even done my first oil change. Here we go, top speed. Here we go, 65 already. Pretty good. Not as fast as I would like, but a lot better than before. 67, 68. Full tuck. 70, baby, let's go. Yeah, that cam is kicking butt. 70 miles per hour, that's a lot better than before. Tell you what. Here we go, downhill, 70, 72. 73, let's go. 74. I saw 74. Uphill now. We're losing power. Oh, this is perfect. It's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. I'm so happy I did this upgrade. It's exactly what I wanted to be at. Heck yeah. Super stoked. Baby, let's go. Yeah, way better. Way better. Cruising, dude. Let's go. Yeah. Very cool. The bike is feeling fantastic. We hit 73 for a split second. 73 miles per hour. I got up to 72 for a good bit, going downhill, but it's overall right where I wanted it to be for that stretch of the road. It's not overkill, and it's I don't know, you can always want more, you know. You always want a little bit more miles per hour, a little bit more speed, a little bit more capacity, but it's where I needed to be for that section. It's where I needed to be for that section, and I'm stoked. Super stoked, actually. It's awesome. Giving it the beans. Fourth gear. Giving it all she's got, Captain. Fully pegged. All the beer, all the beans. 61 in a 55. Yeah, boy. Yeah, so to answer the question, should you install a Stage 2 in your Honda Grom? The answer is yes. Look at that, 73 miles an hour, strong, and I still got about 1500 RPM left. Definitely install the Stage 2 DHM kit. I have the Zoom loop exhaust, but you can do the Yoshi if you want. But look at this, it makes the bike more capable, and this is the fastest part of my commute. It's a 65, but I'm easily hitting the mileage I need to hit. And if I stay on the right lane, it's somewhat more safe than going 58. I'm going 10 miles an hour faster than I usually would right here. If I tuck in, I'm going 70. Way acceptable. Way safer. Fully tucked in, one arm back. Woo! 70. Going downhill right here. Fully tucked in. Uphill, we're going uphill, still going 68. That's awesome. 67, we're about to get the crest of the hill. We are on top of the hill now. 67, starting to go a little bit downhill. 69, 70, more downhill. Yes, if your commute requires you to go in a 65 mile per hour zone, you should definitely get the Stage 2 DHM setup. Alright, it makes that whole crossing a lot better. I feel a lot safer, and I'm not getting passed by cars going like 75. Well, I would get passed by cars going 75, but but it's not like you're getting buzzed like if you're standing still, you know. The Grom is ready. It's in full effect. Only thing left to do now is ride it and stack some Bitcoin. That's all it is. Now for every mile I ride, I'm saving 21 cents a mile because I'm not driving my Toyota Tundra. And we're going to take those 21 cents per mile and we're going to save them into Bitcoin. And I'm going to show you that at the end of each ride. We're going to settle up. Cooking, baby. Now we're cooking. Woo! Oh, red light. Yes, I'm telling you, this little stage 2 setup put a little demon in my engine. Woo! It feels so good. Yeah. If you're even considering it, you should do it. It's totally worth it. Totally worth it. All right, boys. I'm gonna hand you over to future me to wrap up this video and buy some Bitcoin and show you guys the spreadsheet of what our Bitcoin has been doing so far since we got the Grom. So let's do that now. I'll see you in a second. All right, we're back at 21 Moto HQ, guys. I had to bust out the nice mic and the lights because I'm going to show you guys on the spreadsheet what I've been doing with the money we've been saving by riding the Grom instead of driving the truck. So I'm going to pop over to the screen and I'm going to show you guys a spreadsheet I have going. Here we go. There it is. So on this spreadsheet, you'll be able to see all the miles we put on the Grom so far. Let me show you what all these things mean and why it should matter. What's the whole point of this channel? The whole point of this channel is for me to show you guys that the little savings we're getting by riding the Grom instead of driving the Tundra can be set aside. And yes, you can set it aside and spend that money. Or you can set it aside by saving it into Bitcoin. When we save it into Bitcoin, that purchasing power grows. And I set it up a certain way so you guys can see the differences between saving that little bit of extra 21 cents per mile on just in dollars and saving it or spending it, right? As opposed to saving it in Bitcoin. Let me explain what all these different things mean, okay? So here we go. This is the date we buy the actual Bitcoin. So basically the ride. This is like the first time we settled up. I showed you guys on the screen. We bought 66, we had ridden the bike for 66 miles by the time I made the first video. And at 21 cents per mile, I ended up buying $13.73 worth of Bitcoin on August 20th. That $13.73 was able to buy us 0.00023206 Bitcoin. I know, it seems like it's nothing, right? If you take this decimal point and you move it over 8 spaces to the right, you have what's called Satoshis, which is a fraction of a Bitcoin. So you know how a dollar has 100 pennies? You could say you have 100 pennies, or you can say you have $1. It's the same thing, right? Well, if you have 100 million Satoshis, it's the same as having 1 Bitcoin, okay? So when we talk on the show, when I talk here about Satoshis, just know that they're fractions of a Bitcoin. This is the same number. It's just the difference between dollars and cents, okay? Bitcoin or Satoshis, and we call them sats for short. That purchase got us 0.00023206 Bitcoin, or we can say that purchase got us 23,206 Satoshis. It's the same thing. On the videos, when I put it down here at the bottom right, bottom left, you'll see the Bitcoin amount number and the Satoshis value. It's the same thing. It's just different ways to articulate it, right? It's easier to say 8,891 Satoshis than it is to say 0.00008891 Bitcoin, okay? But it's the same amount of Bitcoin. Each time I purchase Bitcoin, I list what I purchased at. So the price of Bitcoin when I bought it was $59,165.73. I bought $13.73 worth of it. and I got this many Satoshis or this much Bitcoin. And today, since the price of Bitcoin has gone up since I bought it, that 21 cents per mile that I was saving is now worth, for the 66 miles, is now worth $14.81. So it went up. So instead of saving it that 21 cents per mile and spending it somewhere, I saved it into Bitcoin. And these are all the different buys we've done on the channel so far. And so right here, we have our last buy that we just had to do. So on our last ride, for testing the top speed with the DHM Stage 2 kit, I did a 25-mile ride. I rode to Jiu-Jitsu and back, and I basically put on another 25 miles on the Grom. So at the time when I did that ride, it was on the September 16th. Now it's September 24th when I'm recording this. So since then, the price has gone up. I put 25 miles on it, and 25 miles times 0.21 for 21 cents per mile equals $5.25. So on that day, I bought $5.25 worth of Bitcoin when Bitcoin was worth 57,900. Okay. So since then, now, September 24th, we are up. So we went from $5.25 to $5.77 worth of value. Okay. Even though we didn't change the amount of Satoshis or Bitcoin that we're holding, right? Since the price of Bitcoin went up, those savings that we put into Bitcoin have increased their purchasing power. So you can buy more stuff with the same amount of little Satoshis, right? It's pretty cool. So the way I wanted to bring this all together and make it all make more sense for what we're doing here, when I bought the motorcycle, the Honda Grom 2025, brand new off the lot, I knew that it was going to cost me, it was going to take me 27,143 miles to break even if I'm saving 21 cents per mile. Minus the miles I've already put on it, I have 26,865 miles to go until I break even. Okay? That's if I just took the 21 cents per mile and saved it somehow. Didn't spend it, I just saved it. But since instead of saving that 21 cents per mile and just keeping it in cash, keeping it in dollars, we converted that value into Bitcoin, into Satoshis. Right? Then now, since the price of Bitcoin has gone up, the value of the Satoshis that those 21 cents per mile converted to is up above what it would be if I was just holding the dollars. Since the value of our holdings, the value of our basically Bitcoin savings here has gone up, we need less miles to break even now, right? So even though I rode the same amount of miles, 279 miles, since I was saving the savings into Bitcoin, now we only need 26,848 miles to break even, as opposed to 6,865 miles to break even. You see what's going on here? As the price of Bitcoin goes up, we'll need less and less miles to break even, because it basically means that the miles that we already rode and bought Bitcoin with, they're going to be worth more than 21 cents per mile. Okay. Whereas if we were just kind of saving that 21 cents per mile in cash, in dollars, the value of that doesn't increase. In actuality, it decreases, right? Because relative to Bitcoin, that same amount of value in Bitcoin is going to go up in purchasing power. Okay. So as we continue to ride the bike, I'm going to continue to buy Bitcoin at the end of each ride at 21 cents per mile to get me closer to that break-in period, to that break-even miles. Okay. And since I'm saving in Bitcoin, my break-even miles will continue to trend down as the price of Bitcoin goes up. It could work against me too. If the price of Bitcoin goes down all of a sudden, then it'll take me longer. It'll take me more miles to break even, right? But the way Bitcoin moves, it's more likely for it to continue up, and that's what the trend is, right? Again, this is not financial advice. This is just an experiment to show you guys how possibly you can get a free motorcycle, right? You can get a free motorcycle if you do this that we're doing here, and the price of Bitcoin continues to go up, right? The whole premise here, okay? It's like, well, why don't you just save the money in Bitcoin and be done with it? No, the premise here is that I have to ride. Is that I have to be at jiu-jitsu 3 days a week, regardless of anything else. So since I have to make that commute, and it could be anything else, it could be your work, it could be whatever. Since you have to make that commute, and my only other option is to drive the Tundra, right, which is like 18 miles per gallon on a good day. instead of riding the Tundra, instead of driving the Tundra, I ride the Grom on a trip I have to do. Then I am saving 21 cents per mile. And since I'm saving 21 cents per mile by riding the Grom instead of driving the truck, I'm taking that 21 cents per mile and I'm buying Bitcoin with it instead of spending it, or instead of just keeping it as cash. And what happens is, by the power of how Bitcoin works and how it fights inflation, the benefit of holding Bitcoin is apparent, right? Just holding it, I don't have to do anything else. The purchasing power of those holdings of the Bitcoin that I'm holding, even if it's just total 0.000975153 Bitcoin, even though it's that little amount, it's about $62 worth of value. It's still showing you the percentage gain, right? It's still showing you the benefit, right? Just between the end of August and now, I'm up 6.15% on that little bit of Bitcoin that we've deposited little by little, just to compensate for the miles that we've driven or that we've rid, right? So it's pretty cool. So I'll put the total amount of Bitcoin right here that we bought for this ride, and then I'll also put the total amount of Bitcoin that we're holding right here for the lifespan of this channel so far. Okay, so eventually we'll be able to break even on this bike, if not more, right? So technically we could say that we got a free Grom once we've ridden it enough and invested in enough and saved enough in Bitcoin for that Bitcoin to be more valuable than the actual purchase of the bike. Okay, and we'll know that our Bitcoin has hit that mark when our break-even miles here go to 0. This will continue to move towards 0 as we put miles on it, but this should move towards 0 faster since the price of Bitcoin is going up. Thanks for watching this episode of 21 Moto. If you have any questions, do put them in the comments below. Go watch this video next. I'll see you over there.